What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Clock Radio Speakers. Actually, this is episode 460, I think.
460?
I think so. Pretty soon we'll be at 560.
Are we gonna hit 5? Are we gonna hit 500 next year?
Yeah, for sure. We will.
I don't know if we'll do 40 in a year. That might be too much. We'll see.
Man, yeah, it depends.
It depends.
I don't know what I was gonna do. Now I was gonna say if we hit episode 560, we could find some FJ 560, like some old jackets. I'm sure that was a big and tall brand, right? Like Fat Joe was like specifically making clothes for bigger guys.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right?
That
what
means,
era? What era Fat Joe is this?
Oh, this is like this is 95, 96. So this is right before Don Cartagena.
So like a lot of leather pieces.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like his version of Averex jackets.
Sure.
I'm on eBay right now looking.
You got to bring back those Averex jackets. No,
they're back.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
everything's back.
Yeah, they're back.
That's the thing now. Everything is back always.
Yeah,
but then nothing's back. Yeah.
Yeah, they're back, and they are. Hold on, let me show you how much. Let me tell you how much they are. They are. Oh, that's the other one. Oh, they sell other stuff besides regular Averex. Ooh, boy. The limited edition. Okay, just the regular icon jacket, just the leather jacket with the Averex on the back. 1,300.
Oh no.
1,300. That's crazy.
I'll let somebody else live out their mid-90s rap video fantasy. That's fine.
Yeah, they
Not
are.
me.
They are back in style. That's nuts. And there's actually some FJ 560 on eBay. There is. There's a snorkel jacket, a button-up shirt, a 2XL, which I'm sure probably fits like a 4XL.
Right.
Yeah, big and tall. It's big and tall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Doc is here. What's up, man?
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? Man.
You kind of see where we're gonna be today.
I'm good, man. I'm good. I don't know. Been making a lot of weird beats. You
have. I went through all those. I went through all those beats.
I made like a house record the other day. I don't know.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I got something to 1219.
Oh, there we go.
I think I got something to 1219. But yeah, man.
Man, everything's good. Everything's good. We were talking about like how everything gets dark and cold. I'm sitting here. It's 4:56 at night. When we started recording, it was still light out. I'm looking outside. It's dark.
Done.
Dark, cold. Yeah.
Dunzo.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
Ugh. I hate it. I hate the fact that daylight savings time is a thing and it doesn't have to be.
It's like it's either going to be dark. It's either going to be super dark in the morning or super dark in the like. There's no winning.
Yeah.
Because we're on daylight savings time right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm still not getting sunlight until 7:10 in the morning. So you want me to not have sunlight until 8:10? Come on, man.
I hate it.
We live too far north. This is the problem. We gotta go. This is what we're saying, man. We gotta find someplace warm.
We could go to Arizona's probably too hot, right? I'm just saying because I'm
dry. It's hot.
I'm saying Arizona simply because they don't use daylight savings time.
Oh, you really want to escape the tyranny of daylight savings?
Yes. Yes. I hate it.
Yeah.
I literally hate it. It's 4:00. Yeah, it's 5:00 now, and it's dark. Crazy. Nope. Hate it.
Yeah.
Hate it. Yeah, we're trying to figure where in America,
right?
If we stay stateside, we talked about out of the country on the pre-show. We'll save that for the Patreon.
Yeah.
But if you were to stay in America, where's a place where the weather is pretty decent all year round, doesn't get too hot, it's no humidity.
No humidity is tricky. It eliminates a lot of the country.
It does. See, and that's what I loved about Colorado. Colorado summers are amazing. They're so
the winters.
Good. The winters, yes. So my mom lives in Colorado, and my best friend from the military lives in Colorado. My daughter lives in I've got a lot of family out there. There was a really bad snowstorm this week. I want to say Wednesday, it was in the 60s. Thursday, ice storm, terrible, whole city shut down. Friday, clear. It's sunny, it's cold, but it's sunny 300 days a year. So,
but what about like Southern California, man? Certain parts.
They tell me it never rains.
San Diego, man.
Best case scenario, I tell my wife all the time, if money were no object, San Diego. San Diego was
just expensive. Yeah.
It's way too expensive. One of my friends, one of my LA trips for my birthday, my friend took me down there and I fell in love. We went to the it's like a pier or something like that.
Yeah. Oh. I like the weather.
Yeah.
Right. What I don't like, my problem is I'm an East Coast snob. I like the look of the East Coast. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I like the older cities. I want to pick up Boston and put it in San Diego. That would make me happy.
I got you. I
go out to California and it's a lot of the Spanish style architecture I'm fine with, but there's just a lot of stuff that was very clearly built in the 60s. It's a lot of Brady Bunch looking houses.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, nah, I can't. No, man.
I got you.
But if that's the price to pay for not being cold, I could learn.
The other one thing that I don't like about the West Coast is Pacific Standard Time. I hate it.
Eastern time is the best.
Yeah, Eastern time is definitely really the best.
We're making all of our West Coast fans angry right now. I'm so sorry.
It'll be all right. It's cool.
Yeah. They've got the weather.
Well, right. I'll go a whole day. I would be in LA and we'd be moving. I look at my clock. I look at my watch. I'm like, man, I'm tired. What time is it? 3:30.
Because you're still on East Coast time. That adapting to that time is brutal.
It's bad. I mean, even when we were in Hawaii, it was really bad. That 5 hour.
Oh yeah, that's tough.
That was really bad. Yeah, snowfall came on at like 3 p.m. Like, what are we doing?
It messes because you're so used to, and especially America, you're so used to football's on 1:00 on Sundays. Mm-hmm. TV shows start at this time, or mm-hmm. NBA starts at this time. Like, you just get used to that, and then when you're sort of making that trip, you're like if you're a football fan, you're like, wait, football starts at 10 a.m. on Sunday,
right?
And if they're playing in London, it starts at 6:30. Like, who's this for? But hey, it works.
Speaking of NBA, real quick. Did you talk? Two things. I want to briefly talk about Draymond, and I want to talk about. Did you watch the finals of the in-season tournament?
I watched parts of that. I didn't get a chance to watch the whole thing.
Okay.
I watched parts of the. I thought the whole the Final Four for the in-season tournament. Man, I don't know. I liked the whole thing actually. In the end, I thought some of the. Yeah. I don't know if we talked about this or not, but I thought the some of those courts were hideous, right? But what they did is they got you to know, oh, this is a different game, which I thought was useful.
Yep.
Yep. I'm not surprised that the Lakers won. LeBron had that circled. He's like, I need to be the first in-season tournament MVP.
And stories go that he's notoriously cheap, so he actually did want that $500,000.
What's he gonna do with $500,000?
I know, crazy. I have no idea. It was the season. I mean, first of all, having an in-season tournament lasts for like 6 weeks. 2 weeks after the NBA season starts.
I think it's at the wrong time.
It is, but I was talking about this with my friends. When do you do this? When do you do it?
I got the right time for you.
When?
I got the right time for you. You do it. It's January. So after it's like January, or you could even have the first day of the in-season tournament be those Christmas Day games if you wanted.
Okay.
Right. And you lead up into it. That way you're done by the time you get to trade deadline and all-star break. But that kind of carries you, right? Because the first part of the season, you're going to have, new season, what's going on, people in new places. Then you get the Christmas Day games.
Mm-hmm.
But then you get a little lull before everyone pays back attention because of trade deadline and all-star. And then you kind of get cooking. You could do it at the end. But I think if you're going to call it the mid-season tournament, do it in the mid-season. I think that could work.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I'm not mad at that because you're adding some stakes to the Christmas game. So you're going to get the casual eyes on the Christmas game because it's Christmas. But if we're all honest, we don't really pay attention to those games. Like, they're not.
Unless you see what the NFL's doing this year?
What are they doing?
They're doing games on Christmas Day, even though it's a Monday.
Ooh.
They're not messing around. They're not being nice. They're not letting the NBA have it. Wow. They're putting 3 games on Christmas Day.
Okay. Like good games?
Like
Who's playing?
one at a time. I don't know how, I gotta look at how good they are, but it's the NFL.
Yeah.
Everybody NFL, the most popular sport in America. They're just like,
Yep.
no, we're not letting you have this holiday anymore. It's like,
Wow.
okay,
Wow. Wow.
okay.
Okay.
They already had Thanksgiving. This year they got into Black Friday.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now they're coming. So there's going to be games on the 23rd, the 24th, and the 25th.
Wow.
It's like, man.
Wow.
But anyway, yeah.
And then Usher.
Did you like the in-season tournament?
Yeah. I meant to say this. The everything leading up to the Final Four is very confusing. I didn't understand how people won, or like I didn't understand any. I know I saw a video my boy sent me that had Richard Jefferson explain it, and I left it still confused. But the Final Four was cool, and I'm glad that it put a spotlight on Tyrese Halliburton, deservedly so. You know, he balled out, and they beat the Bucks. And then of course, like the finals was kind of like the Lakers were like, no, we're getting up for this. Y'all aren't gonna win because the Pacers aren't deep enough. To last in that. So it was cool. But I agree with you though. Like push it a little bit further into the season. I'm okay with that. All things considered, it made games worth watching because there were some stakes. So I'm okay with that. I'm good with that. Before I get into Draymond, hold on. Did you see that thing? Speaking of the Pacers, did you see what happened with Giannis?
Giannis and the game ball.
What did he drop? 60?
63. He said he was going after the game ball because Dame got like to 5th place all time for the 3-point or whatever. It's like, yeah, all right, whatever.
Okay, sure.
Those teams do not like each other.
They're not ready. Pacers aren't ready.
Not yet.
Last time the Pacers, not yet. The last time the Pacers were good, I hated them. So
Halliburton's a real deal, though. He's a real deal.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. I like him a lot. I liked Miles Turner a couple seasons ago. He was one of the people that's like balling out in the bubble, right?
I think so. And he was everybody's favorite like hypothetical trade guy forever.
He was JJ Hickson in the Amari years.
JJ Hickson.
Hey. Yeah, Halliburton's the real deal though. I like him a lot. I like Tyrese a lot.
Yeah.
Yep. Every time I saw him score, I heard the opening of the Bratz "What Do You Like" when Tyrese hits that. Tyrese. Yeah. But yeah, it was cool. It was cool. So, with that said, your man, Big Bang Draymond Green, suspended indefinitely.
Indefinitely, yeah.
Because he's been watching. Look, WWE has been the best that it's been in years. Triple H is killing it. Storylines are all really, really good. This is a great time to get back into wrestling if you have the time and space to do it. Obviously, Draymond Green is doing that, and he's living out his fantasies to headline a WrestleMania. So he does the, you know what I'm saying, the Texas Tornado. Yeah, the spinning punch. That's not really what bothers me. Like that's, like, of course, don't hit people. You know, suspending indefinitely is crazy. What's bothering me, Doc, did you hear them like interview Rudy Gobert and some of the other players from like different teams when they're asking about him?
I've heard a little bit about what Rudy said, but go on. I'm curious as to what you're.
They just like, man, I just hope he gets the help that he needs. And it's like, yo, like the man's not on drugs.
Here's the problem, right? But here's the thing: the NBA has painted him into an incredible corner. Either he has to say that yes, he's battling some demons, some sort of problem, whatever, and that's the explanation, or he has to say, actually, I'm just a jerk and a villain who is actually trying to physically hurt people. Because what other answer is there? There's no what other answer is there? And they're giving him the 2023 out. They're giving him the, I'm going through some things and I'm going to, appreciate everyone's support. And, I'm going to be talking with my family. I mean, he could come out there and be like, I'm going to pray on this, and he could do the whole playbook.
Thoughts and prayers for sure.
But he can't do that. That's not him. And I don't know how he's going to get around this, because what they've basically given him is they've given him we'll let you back once you've gotten better. Because the other thing is he hasn't apologized either.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that he thinks that what he has done is particularly wrong.
No, I thought he did apologize.
It was pretty weak sauce apologies. Like he certainly didn't apologize for putting Rudy Gobert in a headlock.
And he shouldn't have.
Yes, he should.
No, Rudy Gobert is responsible for spreading COVID-19 through the United States. No, I don't. I'm sorry. Sorry. I got hands and feet for Rudy.
I know you do.
Yeah,
I know.
I got hands and feet for. I could take him too. I don't care if he's.
You think so?
I got him. Yeah,
I think he's gonna have a long reach. Like you can't get close to.
I've never been in a fight where like I was the shorter person, so I always wanted to know what that experience was. Because the shorter people, when I would get into fights, and when I was fighting, I'm 17, 16. Yeah. I'm super skinny, right? So like the thing is, get under him and like slam him. So I just want to like return the favor and see if that would be my strategy.
You want to give him a Texas tornado is what you want.
I think the best way to go about it,
Stone Cold Stunner, like get him crouched over a little bit, get the kick in the gut.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe like you kind of have to do what you have to do the Jermaine O'Neal Tiger Punch. I may need to get like a head start, like a couple, and then
he did. He really ran across.
He ran across. That's like my favorite. Oh my God! I watched that live? That's why I say we're the greatest generation ever. I saw that live. My dad was like, "Hey, Armand, come here real quick." I ran back to the bedroom. So, yo, they getting ready to fight. That was nuts.
That was nuts.
That was insane.
They're giving Draymond all the possible outs.
I'm fighting demons.
But he's not. I don't know. I think he's unable to take it. Like but he's also not willing to say, actually, I'm just kind of a jerk and a bully. Because he's a bully. Yeah. He is a bully, right? But there's a long history of bullies in the NBA, right? Rick Mahorn was a bully.
Yep.
Bill Laimbeer was a bully. Charles Oakley was kind of a bully.
Oh, that Knicks team was full of bullies.
Right.
Bad boy Pistons, they're all bullies.
Right.
Absolutely.
But one, Draymond's a little out of time. Who did I see talk about this? How like, I didn't realize that Draymond was around the Bad Boy Pistons. Who was talking about this?
Yeah.
He was like in the locker room as a kid with them.
Was it Rick Mahorn? I saw that.
It was
clip.
Somebody
said that. Yeah.
It was somebody that, and it was like, it's like they were like, I think he basically just took like he was like around us from a young age, and he like internalized like this is how you play.
No, it was Rasheed. It was Sheed. It was Rasheed Wallace.
Yeah.
Yep. He was around that.
He was
early,
like
he was around that early 2000s.
He just took all the wrong lessons from those Pistons, and it's like, all right. I mean, maybe there's a little to that, but like, listen, you just can't do what he did.
It's different.
So many times. Like
for sure.
Once or twice you can chalk it up to I was a little out of control or whatever, but it's like at this point it's like I don't know, like honestly the headlock thing they could have suspended him for way more.
For sure.
That's not it's not even close to a basketball move.
When you have a highlight reel of all your fights, you know what I'm saying? Like all right, something's there.
That would be great, right? Like you want like all these other people have highlight packages. They're doing these dunks and these threes and incredible moves. And then you get to Draymond's and it's just his greatest takedowns,
Yep.
You get
stomping on people in the chest.
He stomped on his dude in the chest.
He did.
Because he was trying to intimidate them. Because here's the thing. He has been rewarded for this in the past. Like he intimidated and bullied the Boston Celtics in 22. And that is the large reason why they swung that finals. That team was not the same once he punked them. It worked. But like,
which is crazy because I've always said about the Golden State Warriors, if you punch them in the mouth, which is what Cleveland did the year that they won, if you punch them in the mouth, they don't know what to do.
I mean, Draymond thinks he knows what to do, which is he's going to punch harder. Like literally.
That's why they took him out of the game. They got him because that's when he kicked somebody in the groin, right?
LeBron.
Oh, was that Bron that he kicked?
Yeah, you can't do that.
I thought it was.
They won?
I thought he. Yeah,
no, he went after LeBron.
Yeah, LeBron.
You can't touch LeBron.
No. There's superstar calls, and then there's
LeBron calls.
Yeah, it's LeBron calls. It's up there with Jordan, where Jordan would be like, "Hey, that was a foul," and then a ref would blow the whistle. It's like that. Yeah.
The thing with Draymond too is like, if this were hockey, like he would be Steph's enforcer, but he's also trying to also still be like, oh, I'm Draymond, like potential defensive player of the year. Like he's trying to be both a goon and a skilled guy at the same time. And it's like, that's a hard line to follow, especially as you're getting
Yeah.
old, you
Yeah.
know? And
Yeah.
we didn't even talk about him and Poole, you know, change that
Right.
guy's career forever, I think.
Yep. He's in DC balling out for IG models now. It's like,
You know, Jordan Poole's been listening to a little too much Drake, I think is what's happening. You know,
for sure. For sure. That whole team.
He listened to For All the Dogs and he was like, this is my life.
Absolutely. Sad didn't treat you well. Yeah, Virginia Beach was his theme song. Absolutely. That whole team.
He's like, I was just down in Virginia Beach. What are you talking about?
Hey. You wrote that for me, didn't you? Yep.
But
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, because it's an indefinite suspension. I don't know what the answer is there. Like I don't know. It gives them a lot of latitude, like all the latitude in the world. They get to just kind of decide. And what's crazy is like the Players Association has said nothing. Normally in these cases, they're like indefinite for what? Like, you know, they're fighting and they're advocating and, you know, they're like, oh, he was stumbling, you know, like, and this time I haven't heard a peep. And Iggy he's the main guy there now. That should be his boy.
I was going to ask you. I thought so. Chris Paul's not over that anymore.
No, it's Iggy, and it's like that should be your guy.
But Iggy's weird, man. So Iggy will go and play for Golden State. He'll sign a year contract. He'll play 5 minutes a game. He'll get them to the playoffs, and then he'll do an interview on the Breakfast Club and throw him under the bus. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
So, anyway, what do you think about the Draymond thing? I'm guessing you weren't super pumped about the whole, like, everyone's worried about his mental health. He's not mentally ill. He's fine. He's just a jerk.
That's
all. He's a jerk.
I mean, but of course, like, you know, the empathetic side of me, the side of me that just believes that we, you know, are shaped by our experiences. Like, very possible that he experienced something or several things.
Sure.
And it's what made him the way that he is and how he thinks.
That's right.
And, you know, very possible and likely. But no, I mean,
you
I
know
don't
what?
know.
To echo the therapy conversation that we had on the pre-show, like much like how I'm like trying to like sharpen my edge, and my therapist is like, what if you didn't always live on the edge that way? If Draymond was talking to a good therapist, he might be trying to sit there and go, listen, how do I just like dial it down a little bit? And they're like, I got an idea for you. What if you weren't like that at all? And he's just be like, no, I don't know.
No,
I can't do it. You know, because he doesn't know any other way. That's his whole career.
Whole career. And again, rewarded for it. Won championships because of it.
Not only that, but like if he wants it, he can be the next Barkley, Shaq.
100.
Like he.
They want him there.
He just can't. He has to just get out of this in any kind of okay way. Don't then just be in your best behavior. Figure out how to ride out the rest of this contract, and then he could go off into the media sunset if he wants.
What else is on the docket before we get to the big stuff?
I mean, I think it's just the big stuff, right? There's nothing else we need to talk about. We need to talk about Nicki. Anything else?
Yeah. Did you listen to that new Big Crit project EP?
No, I did not.
Okay, I've heard good things. I skimmed, but you know what, Crit? I got here in the car.
What's the vibe, as the you'd say? Is this like sample heavy Crit? What are we doing?
I think I heard one sample.
Okay.
I heard one sample. One of the songs is My Sub Part 6.
Part 6. My man's got a brand.
Featuring one of the members of Shy. Okay. That's interesting. All right.
Sure. You know what? Let's do it. Sure. Why not?
Hey, listen. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. See, I've only heard good things about it. I know you talked about this. Your man, I guess this is a big deal, but this is completely out of my wheelhouse. Playboy Cardi put out a new video.
Yeah, that's my guy for sure.
Apparently, this is a big deal. God, I sound so old.
Yeah.
Apparently, this is a big deal because he always promises new music and he doesn't deliver. So, like, his fan base is kind of.
Right.
So the fact that he said, I'm dropping a new video, and he dropped the new video, and it seems like his fan base likes the song. Like, this is like a big deal. Like, they're very happy with him. But when I hear the song, it sounds like every Playboy Cardi song. So I'm like, I'm really trying to find, like, there's 2 new Lil Baby songs that came out, and they sound like most of the Lil Baby songs. I'm like, how are y'all able to tell like what's good and what's not when it all sounds the same?
Well, it's all content, right? What's the difference?
That reminds me, I clipped that up. I need to post that when you said that. It's all content.
It's just all slotting into a playlist, man. It's all noise, you know.
Jesus.
We're all multitasking so much now. Like, so like I was reading a thing today about how like, TV production companies and TV studios and streaming services, they're looking for second screen shows that are designed to be easy to put on while they know you're looking at your phone, or what they might call shows that you can fold laundry to, right?
Wow.
Because that's how we consume. And this person was like a TV writer, so they were offended that but I'm like, I mean, as terrible as that sounds, like that makes a lot of sense to me.
It does. Wow.
Like I listen to podcasts when I'm doing stuff, but like I'm a 40-year-old man. Like pretty soon, I'm probably going to pick up like a Civil War habit or something, and I'm going to have a train set. Like I'm old, but like, but younger people, yeah, they're like, they've got Netflix on, streaming, whatever, I'm like 99%. I'm 99% convinced that's how like the old comedies from like when we were growing up. That's why this new generation knows Seinfeld and Friends and The Office, because they just put it on while they're doing whatever. They're not like sitting down, like analyzing the nuances. It's noise,
It's just noise.
and it can be familiar. It's easy.
Wow. Wow.
So like in that kind of world, when are we going to, are artists going to start? I mean, it's sort of like, yeah, here's like, I sure put on a Little Baby playlist. I don't know. Have I heard the song before? Maybe. Sounds the same. Maybe. What's the difference? Right. I don't know. I'm just listening to it. I like Little Baby.
We're listening to Little Baby. Yep.
We're listening to Little Baby. That's right.
Yeah. And it's funny. So like the Spotify Wrapped experience from the listener side was very interesting. Because of course, I've only been looking at it for all these years from the artist side. Right. Numbers, data, right? But it's so intuitive now, and other streaming platforms have followed suit, that it's like, it's fun to see, like I was going through my son with his, he sent me his. Yeah. So like, it was fun for him to see, oh man, I was listening to this song a lot. I thought this song would have been on my list. Like, but like you said, it's just I forgot the other point that I was going to make, but I can't believe all this stuff is just background noise. It really is. And it makes sense as a creator on the other side, a creator, artist, whatever. Yeah. It makes sense like why they want you to post every day, or why they want you to, put out a song a month or a song a week or whatever, because it's like, as quickly, that's why I tell people this all the time. It's like, you spent 5 hours on creating this. Think about how you consume. You literally see it. You might watch the first 3 to 5 seconds and you're either swiping up or you're watching a little bit more. So, like how it's created and how it's consumed are 2 different things, and they have to line up a little bit more just for, God, our mental health.
And I think as an independent artist of any kind, you either need to play the game or not play the game.
That's
the most
right.
dangerous place to be is in the middle, where you're like trying to put stuff out, but it's really hard. And so you kind of put stuff out sometimes. So they're not really missing you. Like you could be the kind of artist you're like, listen, I'm not going to play this game. I'm going to put out this thing, and then I'm going to like promote it, do whatever, tour, do whatever. And then you're going to miss me. And then I'm going to come back. Or you can be the artist who's always putting stuff out. You're always out there. In the middle is the danger zone. Because what we have right now doesn't work for that at all. It's not the kind of like, go away, come back, I miss you. You can get that depth of relationship, but it's also not the like constant content background noise. Like you're just in the middle. And what we all use to consume media right now doesn't know what to do with that. We don't have that kind of a thing.
Wow.
Armand's like...
I'm just thinking through all the stuff that I want to do next year. And I'm like, all signs point to, and again, this is fallout from my therapy sessions. Like all signs point out to like, I need to go 10 toes in. Cause I feel like,
you gotta be like all the way in, or like, right.
I feel like I've been in the middle. Other people around me are like, no, you're doing a lot. And I'm like, no, I'm not. Not to what. And
it feels like a treadmill, right? The more you're online, the more you realize, oh no, I need to be doing more because I see all these other people who are doing more.
Yeah, I heard somebody say that you need to, if you're in a field, you should not be following your peers because that's really what feeds a lot of your insecurities and feeling like you should
Oh
be
yeah.
doing more. If you're seeing people do similar things, you should be following things outside of your field that inspire you, or that inform you, educate you, or whatever. But like, you shouldn't be following. Like, I don't
Yeah,
follow a
like
whole lot of rappers.
I don't follow any. I don't think I follow any producers on social, but instead I follow that Japanese record shop that posts all those great like loops that I want to sample from. Like that's what
Yeah,
I'm.
yeah, yeah.
That's what I'm following. You know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. Yep. Yeah, it's weird. Like, so like I'll follow, like I like following Alchemist because and I just did follow him this year, but
Yeah.
it's because he's doing all the other stuff. So it's
Right.
not like of course, but I'm not a producer.
Yeah.
Um, Even though I made beats before. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
Yeah,
come
yeah,
on
yeah. I
now.
feel like we can, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like seeing like the other things that people are doing rather than like I don't anytime I see a rapper doing something similar to what I do, like that feeling comes up in my chest like,
You're like,
yeah. I'm like, I gotta get that off my feed. I do. I do. You feel like a hater a little bit, but it's really a matter of like
it
preserving
used to
your
be
mental health.
okay. It used to be okay to be a hater. Remember?
No, was it? When was it okay to
Yes.
be a hater?
It used to be okay. Now we're all lovey-dovey. Everyone's support. It used to be okay just to. I don't like you, man. I don't want nothing to do with them. Like that's all gone.
This
now.
is trash. Yeah. It's amazing to hear like as a rapper, maybe this is how we transition
Yeah.
into one of these artists.
Sure.
But like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
amazing to hear what people say nowadays is a diss and like what we know is a diss.
No,
Like,
no,
oh yeah,
no.
he dissed. Like, no, he didn't. I saw a little back and forth thing with YoungBoy and J. Cole, and like I saw what they said, YoungBoy, like that's not a diss. And but the diss
No.
was like, when I see him, I'm gonna kill him.
Well, you got artists like Nicki, sort of. She needs a villain, and so she's decided it's Billboard, right?
And Elliott Wilson, she's
Sure.
thrown some shots at Jay-Z.
Of course.
It's so crazy that she was. It's funny. So I have a brand coach that I'm working with, and she
Okay.
asked me, and maybe I shouldn't reveal this on the show,
Yeah.
but she asked me to list 5 brands that I love and 5
Okay.
brands that I hate.
Yep.
And one of the things that I don't like about Nicki's brand is that, like you said, there needs to be a villain. Like she was on a trajectory to just like have a real easy rollout with a lot of content, a lot of music, which is what people have wanted for her. That lasted one day. She had the one day with the stream with Kai Cenat, and then the next day she had enemies that were trying to stop her. And
She listen, and you know, people will point like I think her fans will defend her. I think she would sort she's like I'm the queen, so like of course like she has this very much like, well, I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be the best, right? Like what are we all talking about? Like sometimes she does act like it's a little beneath her to do all this to do this kind of like modern marketing stuff that you have to do, right?
you have to do it.
No, it's I mean like so this rollout of hers has been extended. And I realized how extended it was when they put Super Freaky Girl on the album, and I was like, "Oh wow!" Like
I forgot
that
all
was
about that song.
that was like 2.5 Drake albums ago. No, I don't know. That was a long time ago. I don't even know.
Honestly though, I don't. Hold on. When did that song come out?
It's August of 22.
So yeah, it's been a year.
Over
been
a
a year.
year.
That was her attempt to beat Anaconda, and it
And
didn't.
it did pretty well.
Okay.
It didn't
okay.
do amazing. It went number 1.
Okay.
It did well. It did well.
It better have. We'll get to those samples. We'll get there.
A lot of samples on this project. But so this role's been cooking for a while, right? She put out Red Ruby.
Yeah, Red Ruby. I feel like there was some. She had. Oh, do we have a problem? She had the Lil Baby record that didn't make the album.
That was earlier 22, right? Like those didn't make it. They could have, like, because I mean, she has been recording for this project since 19 and 20, right?
Yeah.
But, you know,
Yeah.
her dad died, which she talks about in
Yep.
this project. Like things got different, went sideways. She get
Absolutely.
married
She
in
had a
between
baby.
projects, right? Married, baby?
No, I don't. I think she was already married. She had a baby.
Okay.
Yeah, her baby was between this. I think her last album was what?
Queen.
Okay,
2018
yeah.
has been 5 years.
Yeah, she had the because I think her baby. I think she said on the album like he's 3. I want to say.
Yeah.
So yeah, she had the
Yeah.
baby while she during this time. So
Right. So that's a
yeah,
lot. Listen, that's a lot of ups and downs. I'm sure what she had in mind in 2019 is not what came out now. That's fine. Um,
she's 41.
she's 41.
I think that makes a difference too.
Yeah,
Makes a
she's
difference too.
41. She's still trying to run the 2011 playbook to a certain degree, right?
To a certain degree.
Um, so she's beefing with Billboard, saying that they're taking away her numbers. So, you mind if I have some notes if you cool with me explaining it?
Please.
So she posted about a contest where her fans could win if they showed proof of purchase of 4 physicals or 4 digital album purchases. Okay.
My bad. The timing of that was really bad. Timing that was really bad. My bad.
So Billboard is like, you're sort of trying to artificially juice your numbers here. And so what's interesting is like, I don't know if that's like, I'm sure Billboard has rules, but people are like, listen, a sale is a sale. But what Billboard's trying to do now, Billboard isn't just raw numbers. It's trying to capture like something close to what are people actually like listening to, because they're always aware. Otherwise people do game streams. They try to, and it's a cat and mouse game, but otherwise that would be legal, right? Like if what Nicki did was legal, then what's the difference between that and telling her fans to go buy an official Nicki Minaj Spotify bot that will play the album over and over again? Like there's not much of a difference as far as I'm concerned. So I'm not surprised that Billboard's like, you can't run promotions like that and expect it to count for like what we're doing. So, I'm not surprised. What's interesting to me is like how much she cares about it, right? How much she cares about the album sales. I think that's like the era that she came up in, right? She's our age. She's a little older than I am. Like she's of our generation,
of our era, for sure.
Of our era, where that's what mattered, for sure. That's how she measures herself against Cardi and Megan and Jay and Wayne and Drake. That really matters to her. It matters so much. Did you hear about the physical versions?
I heard how much she sold out of her final number, but I don't know specifically what you're talking about.
They have 10 songs.
Oh, I did hear about. I saw somebody say that. Yeah,
they have 10 songs because after I think Astroworld, they changed the rules. So first week sales don't count what you sell, they count what ships.
Yeah.
Which means Nicki's rollout was always going to include a heavy emphasis on her hardcore barbs buying physical copies, and probably lots of them. That means you need physical copies printed, ready to ship. She knew these are the 10 songs that are done, mixed, mastered, ready to go. That's all she could ship, is what I believe. Like otherwise you would put more than 10.
Absolutely. Right? There's no other reason, thing makes sense. Yeah.
But now what she could have done is had pre-orders this week and they ship next week, 2 weeks from now, whatever. But that's not going to count for first week sales. And that was not good enough for Nicki because Nicki wanted her numbers.
She wanted her numbers.
It's part of her image. She's number one. She sells this. She does that, right? Like that's part of the plan. And so you can't let a little thing like we only have 10 songs finalized get in the way, apparently.
Wow. Now, are the
I've
Barbs...
never heard of that.
Are the Barbs upset that there are only 10 songs?
I have a hard time finding out what the hell the actual like collective Barbs believe about anything, because if you go online, you see a mix of just like sycophantic, like people who are, it's like going into a Kanye subreddit and you're like, I don't know what's real and what's not real here, so I'm actually not sure, to be honest. If I were one of them, I mean, I guess I would say if when I bought it, if I knew, if it only listed 10 tracks, if like the expectation was, wow, she's giving us a short album, interesting. And then surprise, the digital is actually 20 whatever tracks. Okay, that's one thing. But if all I knew is I'm pre-ordering the album and then I get it and it's 10 songs, but again, how many of those fans are actually using those physicals? Most of them are not. They're buying it because it's a way they can support their favorite fan, their one of their favorite artists, right?
Cause she had a lot of different physical versions.
Yeah,
I
because
was
we're sitting
seeing.
here. You know, I haven't even unpacked it yet. My I Am vinyl I bought
Oh,
not because I want to listen to it, but because I just wanted to support it. I wanted it as a piece of history.
we should have a live unboxing on the show. I still didn't see the track list.
Oh, you know what? All right, hold on. We're gonna do this real. Can you hear me all right with the mic?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, let me open this up here. Got to do the live unboxing. You know, this is a whole new YouTube era for us here. We can do
It is.
you know. All right, let's see what we got. All right, so we got. Hopefully, y'all can see. Yeah, we got the.
Yep.
Yep. So
Wow.
here's the track listing. So we open.
Okay.
Oh, it's interesting. So it's like, it says. So it's song title, how long it is, and then where it came from. Interesting.
Oh, okay.
So opens with Fetus,
Yep.
Lost Tapes, Small World, I Am,
Okay.
Money Is My Chick, I Am.
Okay.
That's side A of one because it's double disc quote unquote vinyl, but that's just because it's just one album.
Yeah.
So then we open with Project Windows with Ronald Isley from Nostradamus. So
Nostradamus, yep.
I think it's the
Is-
Nostradamus version,
It's not the original. Oh yeah, yeah.
not the original.
Yeah. Yep, yep. The original didn't.
Papa Was a Player from Lost Tapes,
Okay.
Dr. Knockboot from I Am,
Yep. That was always on the album. It was.
right? Daydreamin', Stay Schemin', unreleased.
Okay. Yep.
Sometimes I Wonder, unreleased.
Okay.
Hardest Thing to Do is Stay Alive, unreleased.
Yep.
All just credited to Nasir Jones. No producers, no samples, no nothing. Drunk by Myself, Lost Tapes.
Yep.
Wanna Play Rough.
Okay. Yep.
Only credited to Nas, even though that did end up on someone's project. That's Dame Grease, right?
Oh, that did end up on the Dame. The Hell, what was it called? Hell Up in Harlem, something Harlem.
No, Live on Lennox.
Live on Linux. There it is. Yep. Wow.
Not sure why that doesn't actually. That's actually like on a real project.
Yeah.
Is anybody at Columbia Records? Because this has Columbia on it, by the way. It does say Columbia. Like, does anybody at Columbia Records aware that they don't solely own the copyright to Want to Play Rough? Just throwing that out there.
Doc, who remembers a Dame Grease album from 1999?
Don't make me play the
Besides
record with
us.
Cameron. Don't make me play the record with Cameron.
Listen, you ain't got to talk to me. I'm talking about everybody else. Who remembers that? We remember Good Morning America. Who? Listen, that was a
Then
time.
we get Blaze of 50.
Yep.
So I don't understand this. Like, in some cases, he's listing like people's actual names, like, you know, for the two guys in the track lister and the track masters, like, you know, Derek Angeletti instead of D Dot. But then for Lost Tapes, it just says LES. You could so then it ends with Blaze of 50 and We Will Survive. The Want to Play Rough thing is hilarious. They didn't even say unreleased next to it because they know it's not unreleased.
Right.
Why they didn't put Dame Grease on it, I don't know.
So
What a weird-
did they just
This
snatch
is-
up a bunch of songs from the internet and just like press them up on a vinyl? Because that's not official, right?
Listen, it says copyright 2023 Columbia Records. You know,
Because
if
Nas
I'm Dame,
didn't say anything about it, right?
Nas said nothing. So I figured, first of all, this could be like the subject of a lawsuit. This could be like recalled at some point. I'm like, I'm keeping this sealed.
Absolutely.
Who knows?
Absolutely. You never know. Absolutely.
Right.
That's crazy. So with that said, before we get back into Nicki, the version of I Am that we have on our Patreon
in the $10 Dropbox is
in the $10
that's the best one. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. You know,
Yeah, 'cause
they
Praise
really
not
missed
on
they
there,
missed a
yeah.
real opportunity. I'm just gonna soapbox real quick. A real opportunity just for hip hop history to be like, listen, like, we can give y'all that, like, they have a mixed and mastered version of Pray because they put it on the cassette. Give us the CD quality. Give us all, we know the records exist.
Yep.
You know, what I want someone to open this up and rip it because I am curious. Are these the versions that we had, or are they for real? Like, I have not been able to. I was checking on some of the places that you and I check. I have not found anything. If you do find it, let me know. But anyway, it was a real missed opportunity to treat this the way that that rock artists and their labels have treated old reissues where like, oh, you get the box set and we've got like demos and this and that. No, no, this, you're right. I mean, if it didn't have a Columbia label on it, I would guarantee you that they literally just took the MP3s and put them on vinyl. But I'm holding out a bit of hope that they didn't do that. But you're right. We didn't hear anything from Nas, even though you'd think this would have been a whole like, oh, we finally went back and, I recognize this is like a piece of history and it's mythical and like, we're going to do it right. Like there was none of that.
Yeah.
And the other thing is the time to do it would have been next year. Like they dropped this first of all, I guess this is the 25th anniversary of the leak, which is hilarious.
That's funny.
Right. But like, Nas is just wrapping up his little run with Hit Boy, now taking a step back and doing like a proper 25th like anniversary of like all the I Am stuff that would have been like set the record straight, like put that in get that like ironed out for his catalog, for his Spotify and everything forever. It's like the perfect time for him to do that.
Yep. Agreed.
What are they doing over there?
Agreed.
All right. So anyway, just like me, I'm sure a fair number of these Nicki fans are leaving their Pink Friday 2 vinyls in still in shrink wrap, and that's fine because that's how they want to support their art, their fan. That's that's how they want to support their favorite artist.
Yeah, I'm looking now. Yeah, she announced her tour.
Yep, she's got the tour. She's coming to Hartford. I'm not going.
Yeah, she's coming to Columbus.
She's doing all the cities, man. She's doing she's doing arenas too, which I'm not surprised by, because, and this is the thing. I mean, it's so funny that she's emphasizing sales the way that she is now, because she has the catalog, she has the hardcore fans. She can just do arena tours, even if she decided she wanted to not try to play that I gotta be number one all the time, I gotta be the biggest, I gotta be the best game. Like she could if she wanted to, but I don't think she's ready for that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? She's like, no, I'm Nicki. You know,
I'm looking, and I say the venue seats are
available?
Probably 6. I mean, there's definitely available, but it's not crazy. I'd say it's probably 60%, 65%.
Who's I forget who's going on tour with her? Has she announced?
Just her.
That's interesting. Just her.
Yeah, just her.
All right.
Yeah, it would make sense that she would take one of the young girls on tour.
I mean, I was honestly kind of surprised considering they did 2 records this year. Ice Spice is nowhere to be found here on this project.
I'm surprised too. Yeah,
but bringing Ice Spice on tour with her, like that. I mean, if assuming that I'm going to make some assumptions that 2 of them at least get along reasonably well, like they're cool with each other, whatever. Like that'd be a huge look for Ice Spice.
Isn't Ice Spice kind of on a tour right now?
Is she?
I see her,
but I mean, Nicki's doing arenas, not like
for sure. I feel like Ice Spice is doing.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
maybe we got beat to the punch.
But I don't know. I don't know if these are like, I don't know what these are. I don't know if these are like summer jams, winter jams. You know what I'm saying? Which is probably what they are.
She's gonna be opening for Doja.
Oh, okay. Yep. That's right. Yep. Because Doja was just here like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and
so it's select dates opening for Doja. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, a friend of mine was there, and she opened up for her. That's interesting. Felt like it would have made more sense for her to be with Nicki than Doja, but okay, sure. No matter what, she still got that.
I mean, there's probably a fair amount of overlap with audience. Like Doja, a bit of a different audience. So that's a good, like career-wise, that's a good move for Ice Spice.
Listen. Whoever is in charge of Ice Spice, I know they talk about Jimmy Hinchman's son, but like whoever her team is, they are doing. I don't think she can be handled any better.
You're talking about people who had a good 2023 on the pre-show. She had a great 2023. Yes, she turned herself from almost a joke into the opposite of a joke.
Absolutely.
Faster than almost anybody I can remember.
Absolutely. Yep. Agreed. Okay.
All right. So Nicki, so we were talking about Billboard. Oh, and then she, she was complaining about, she said, she was tweeting or whatever about how, it's okay for Cardi and Megan to use Cash App to get people to, to sort of do whatever. Yeah. Except like, if you go look at it, like there was a Cash App promotion for WAP, and Here's how it worked. It didn't require proof of purchase. You just had to tweet about the song and something else. And that happened after it was already released at number one. So like, it's not even, it's a promotion, right?
Yeah.
It's not the same thing at all. It's not like, oh, show me you bought the album and I'll cash app you. Like that would be against the rules, I think.
Right. Right.
So
right.
like on the one hand, I think this is a bit of modern marketing. If you have a big fan base, people listen, grievance sells, man. And if you have an enemy that people can get united behind, it's very powerful because you know who's done a really good job with that.
Kanye?
Your girl, Taylor Swift.
Oh. Who's her enemy?
Scooter Braun.
Okay.
She has been selling re-recorded versions of her own albums, going number one,
right?
as a way for her and her fans to get back at Scooter. It's incredible.
Oh,
and like,
that's the rollout. Yeah. See, I need to find like a 30-minute documentary.
You
like
need a
breaking
Swiftie.
down. I'm sure somebody made a documentary on YouTube explaining it. I get irritated at those. For like the hip hop ones, like a breakdown of Drake versus Kendrick. Man, shut up.
No, I'm never clicking on that. Are you kidding me?
Shut up. Hold on, let me see. Taylor Swift re-release. Let me see, documentary or something like that. I don't know. Dare to no. Okay. Nope. Okay. Whatever. How Taylor? Okay, there we go. Like, how Taylor Swift outsmarted her record label. Got it. Found it.
There you go. Right. Exactly. Like she's beaten the record industry. She's beaten her old manager. Like it's a story, right? That's part of it for sure. Part of the problem though is, boy, and I'm treading on thin ice here, right? It's never a good idea for especially now, but just in general, you should never talk about as a man how likable or not likable a woman is. It's a bad idea. Just a bad idea in general. I will just say, Nicki does not include as a part of her promotional rollout any kind of charm offensive or anything like that at all. Her entire aura, vibe, attitude, whatever, is not for me in any way, shape, or form. And it is very much just like, I'm the best. You should buy my... It's like, I don't understand how to get from point A to point B with her sometimes. You know?
Bow down to me. Like yeah.
Yes. 100%. Always.
Agreed.
And it's just like,
Agreed.
And it's like, all right. I mean, you've got your fans and that's great, but like, how is that furthering your goals? Because she wants to be the biggest, which is a laudable goal.
Right.
But everything about what she does for rollouts and everything else caters to the hardest of her hardcore.
And that's interesting. So that brings up in my mind, that brings up what you just said about being all in or all out. Because look at somebody like Beyonce. Like, she establishes herself as the queen.
That's right.
But like, because she's able to do it on her own way with her tour, like I'm not talking about, like, she doesn't do interviews. She doesn't go on show. There is no press run, right? And if there is, it's because she wants to be, and she'll do.
It's because she wants to do, right?
It's with one publication. She does one thing with Vogue. It's and that's it. But Nicki's I've seen at least 4 pieces of content with Vogue alone. Yeah. She's doing all the podcasts. She's doing Joe Budden. She did the stream with Kai Cenat at 3:30 in the morning, which is nuts. The old man in me was like,
catch that.
No way I'm staying up there.
Listen,
I didn't even know she was doing it. But like, she's doing all the things. And when you do all those things, like you said, you have to be likable and charming and appealing and, you know, like,
play the game or don't play the game.
You got to play the game. If you're gonna go on, why can't I think of his name? Seth, who has the late
Seth
night
Meyers?
show. Yeah. So if you're gonna do that show, you got to play with the roots. You got to tell the jokes. You have to do that stuff. You can't go there and act all high and mighty to Seth Meyers. And I even wonder if she does that. I don't know if she does it. If she goes to certain platforms and acts high and mighty in the queen, she'll do that to Kai Cenat. But is she going to do that with Seth Meyers? Is she going to do that in some of these other places? I don't think so.
But all, like, you know, I mean, you see it like in her. It's all part of her image. Like it's really hard for her to be anything but the hardest person. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, she truly always has her armor on, always, which comes from being an innovator in a male-dominated field that is known for aggression. Like, I understand all of it, for sure. But it's like, and there are records on here where you're like, she could do something with this one we're talking about. She could do something with it, but she is the wrong person to be on it because she has never shown that side of her. Right? Like she's never, have you ever seen a goofy or a fun Nicki? Like that's just not her thing.
Early Nicki, like with the wigs and all that, like
That
kinda.
a little bit, right? But like she's just not that way, you
Yeah.
know. And
And if
Gen
she is, she doesn't
Z
show it. Yeah.
and Gen Z, they're like a different kind. That's not, not the
They
hard, serious, like
it's and I think to that point, I think that's why somebody like Cardi does really well, because Cardi will almost show
she'll
pieces of
flip. She
herself
could just
to a fault.
to a fault.
I mean, what's in the news right now with Cardi, right? Like I'm showing everything like
Right.
that. I wouldn't do that, but her audience is like, it's in line with her brand to do something like that.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
I'm with you, because the question for me going into this album, we can get into the music now, is like,
let's talk about the music.
what does a Nicki Minaj album sound like in 2023? You've had 4 or 5 years to work on it. You're older, you're married, you have a child. Like clearly you have slowed down. You're a little more settled and grounded. How do you present yourself? How do you present this version of you to your audience where you have not been that for the rest of your tenure? So I was curious to know if I was going to get that.
Yeah.
That was my expectation going. This is actually now that I had expectation for. I was wondering what I was going to get from her.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and it's interesting because like in the singles that were out, we had Super Freaky Girl, we had Red Ruby, and we had Last Time I Saw You. And a lot of these, Last Time I Saw You is very interesting, right? But like a lot of these records, I don't know. Like I listen to this project and I'm like, if I listen to those singles, like I would have no idea what I'm getting into necessarily, with this project, except to say, I think she's still in a lot of ways kind of running back, kind of like the Nicki playbook. You know what I mean? Trying to adapt in some ways.
Right. Absolutely. And it's funny, and I think it benefits our generation that like now more artists are sampling newer records, because she's like, oh, I can sample Lumi D, bet.
We'll talk about
yeah. But like Last Time I Saw You is really is really interesting, because it's an example of like this vulnerability that she and her audience, her hardcore audience, the Barbs, like say that she has. But it's like, I think you hit the nail on the head. I was like, what's like, something's missing though. And it's not like as vulnerable as it could be. That's an all in, all out thing for me. So if we're going into, I mean, you're starting your album off, with a
very
a memoriam, a tribute to your tribute to your father.
Yeah.
And the sample, the Billie Eilish sample, is very it's very emotional. It evokes a lot. And it's like right there. I don't know what's missing, but I'm not having this like, oh my, it's not an ultralight beam, right?
Honestly, it is an unusual song to open the album with.
Not to me. To me, it wasn't.
You don't think so?
No, I'm actually not mad. We gonna get into sequencing. Like,
there's a lot of songs in this project for starters.
A lot of songs. But if you let it play through, it makes sense. This is like Lust for Life, right? So this is, for some Drake albums, it takes a while for him to, get to the top of the mountain or whatever.
Yeah.
But for some people, they start off slow and then there's a sharp left. So like, Are You Gone Already? It hits all those checks, but like, it doesn't feel as vulnerable as it presents.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
And it lists the it lists the Nicki Minaj problem that I have with her music.
Let's talk about it.
Okay. I can listen to Nicki rap. Not all day, but like listening to Nicki rap is enjoyable. The pocket she finds, you know what I'm saying, her cadences and stuff. I'm glad she doesn't do she was trying to find like she used to do like the monster thing, which is like she rev her voice up and do a lot. I didn't like any of that.
The Roman.
Roman stuff. Yes. So then like I say like around 2015, like 2015, she kind of stopped doing that and she started rapping in this like lower tone. Whereas now she's kind of like, and I think she did this on Queen, she like found this kind of like balance where she was still emoting, but it wasn't over the top. So it's enjoyable. Like Nicki can rap. Some of the lyrics are I'm getting ahead of myself. Some of the lyrics are questionable. Like, some of the bars are kind of corny. They're like Kanye corny.
A lot of you know what? It reminded me of like when we were talking about on a recent Drake sort of review of some kind. We were talking about like you can tell Drake he's writing more for himself because you're getting a lot of those like raps, like those old 2011, 2010 era.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of that from Nicki on here.
Yeah. But like when she stops rapping suddenly and starts singing, every time she does that, it kills the song for me.
Yeah, for the most part. I actually think on the opening, like I think her rapping is what gets me out of the zone. I'm actually like, I think if she would have done more singing on that, I think it might have worked for me. But I think that is a good point to make, which is like her going back and forth between singing and rapping. I don't know how successful that is. I think she can sing.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously she can rap, but like they are still, for her, they are two distinct modes, on and off.
Yes.
What has happened since over the past 10 years is increasingly you are not either singing or rapping. You are in the middle somewhere. And that is not a part of Nicki's flow at all. Even though some of these beats on here are more meant for artists who are doing that.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
And so having her adapt to that is interesting. I mean, I'd be interested to see if she could even want to do that. But you're right. She's like, I'm either she's got singing mode and she's got rapping mode. She's got different kinds of rap modes, but like you know what I mean? Like they are distinct things for her, not this sort of in between. Drake had to adapt to it. Drake has gotten, I think, better at it. And sometimes he struggles for sure. Like it's not as native to him as it is for some of the youths, right? Where that's just what they do.
Youths, they just do that. They'll weave in and out. Young boy is somebody who will just
right. Exactly.
He'll go all over the place, and it doesn't sound like a hard stop.
Right.
It's just weaving to the style.
That's what happens on Red Ruby the Sleaze, right? Mm-hmm. Where like
I hate when the song switches.
The hook, I'm like, no, get this out of here. This is terrible. Also, call up Luma D. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, bring her out. Yeah, agreed. That hook is not. It's not the right hook. Yeah, she starts and stops a lot.